in a dense, sun-dappled forest, where sunlight peeked through towering trees and golden rays danced on the forest floor, there lived a little squirrel named Sparky. Sparky was small, with a bushy tail, bright, sparkling eyes, and tiny, quick paws. But he was extremely curious and incredibly daring. Every morning, as the first rays of the sun filtered through the leaves, Sparky would leap from one branch to another, exploring every nook and cranny of the forest. He had a best friend named Lila, a small bird with iridescent feathers that shimmered like jewels. Lila was wise, cautious, and always observant. While Sparky loved to rush into adventure, Lila always reminded him to think carefully. "Be careful, Sparky," she would chirp, fluttering her wings. "The forest is full of wonders, but also surprises you might not expect." Sparky would often nod impatiently, eager to chase after every rustle in the leaves or shiny object that caught his eye. He loved the thrill of adventure, and nothing could hold back his excitement. One bright morning, while hopping through a cluster of ancient oak trees, Sparky noticed something glimmering. Right at the top of the tallest tree in the forest, he squinted and realized it was a huge, shiny nut. Golden brown, polished by the sunlight. His eyes widened with amazement, and his tiny heart began to race. "Oh wow, that's the biggest nut I've ever seen. I have to get it!" Sparky exclaimed. Lila flew beside him, her wings fluttering nervously. "Sparky, don't risk your life for one nut," she warned softly. "There's plenty of food scattered all over the forest. Climbing that tree is dangerous, and the branch near the top looks very thin." But Sparky's excitement was uncontrollable. With a determined twitch of his whiskers, he darted toward the tree. He placed his tiny paws on the rough bark and began climbing with amazing agility, his tail swaying for balance. Halfway up, the branches became thinner, swaying in the wind. Sparky misjudged a step and slipped. He barely caught himself on a narrow branch that creaked under his weight. His heart pounded. Fear flashed across his eyes. "Help! Lila, I'm stuck!" he squeaked. Lila swooped down immediately, wings beating furiously. She landed on a nearby branch and chirped calmly, "Hold on, Sparky. Don't panic. Take slow steps. I'll guide you." Sparky took a deep breath, listening to Lila's gentle instructions. Slowly, step by step, he balanced on the fragile branch. Lila's sharp eyes guided him, pointing out the safest spots to place his tiny paws. After a few tense minutes, Sparky finally reached the top of the tree. The shiny nut gleamed in his paws, and he let out a victorious squeak. Lila fluttered joyfully around him. Together they laughed, chirped, and celebrated as sunlight illuminated their happy faces. From that day on, Sparky learned a valuable lesson. He realized that bravery alone isn't enough. Courage must be paired with smart thinking and good guidance. And friendship makes every challenge easier to face. Sparky hugged the nut tightly, but more importantly, he hugged his friend Lila with gratitude. he chirped happily. Bravery is important, but smart thinking and friendship make you unstoppable. And from that day forward, Sparky's adventures were still bold, but now they were wise and thoughtful. He became the bravest and smartest little squirrel in the entire forest.